What's up guys? For those that have been with me for quite some time, you might know that I used to shoot all my videos on the Canon 6D Mark II, but just recently upgraded to the 5D Mark IV, mostly for its 4K capabilities. But for those that are hesitant whether to buy the 6D Mark II or the 5D Mark IV, I'll tell you everything you need to know before buying it. At first glance, you might be thinking that these two cameras are exactly the same, especially when the sensor is almost identical. However, Canon aimed the 6D Mark II as an enthusiast's camera and the 5D Mark IV as a professional camera, and that's due to its many differences. Firstly, by looking at the sensor and processor, for professionals this can already mean a lot. The 6D Mark II offers a full-frame 26 megapixel sensor compared to the 5D's 30 megapixel sensor. Even though that is only 4 megapixels, it means 4 million pixels, and that can already be a lot. Further, the ISO sensitivity on both cameras is pretty much the same, but the processor isn't. The 6D Mark II offers the newer Digic 7 engine, while the 5D Mark IV remains on the older Digic 6 Plus engine, but the little older engine has one particular advantage here: burst shooting. More about that a little later in the video. Now, this is the part I focused on most when buying the 5D Mark IV, its video capabilities. The 5D Mark IV offers 4K DCI up to 30 frames per second with slow motion at 120 frames per second at a resolution of 720p. On the other hand, the 6D Mark II offers 1080p up to 60 frames per second and no slow motion capabilities. So the 5D Mark IV definitely has an advantage in videos if you're looking for 4K. Regarding the interface, on both cameras you have a 3.5mm microphone jack and an HDMI output, but the 5D Mark IV is the only one to offer a headphone jack. So the 5D Mark IV is still winning. Alright, now what did I mean with burst shooting, which is mainly used for action photography? The 5D Mark IV has a slight difference at 7 frames per second compared to the 6D Mark II's 6.5. Of course, the difference is very minimal, but it changes the game a lot. The 5D Mark IV can shoot an infinite number of JPEGs and up to 30 RAW files compared to the 6D Mark II that can shoot up to 150 JPEGs and up to 21 RAW files. So, of course, for pro action photography, this will be the way to go. In terms of autofocus, the 5D Mark IV offers a 61-point array in live view and video compared to the 6D Mark II with a 45-point array, so this difference will allow for a wider area of coverage for the autofocus to work, making it great for focusing on subjects that are off-center or aren't completely centered. This video is filmed on the 5D, and as you can see, it's doing a very good job of following where I go. On the build end of the camera, the major difference will be with the memory card slots. The 5D Mark IV supports two cards, a compact flash and a regular SD card, compared to the 6D Mark II offering only one regular SD card slot. Further, the 5D Mark IV supports the USB 3.0 connection, while the 6D Mark II remains on the slower and older USB 2.0 connection. The build of the camera is also more solid on the 5D, but the 6D Mark II is a little lighter and a little smaller in size, which can be an added benefit if you're looking for a small camera that is extremely good. On the side of connectivity, both cameras have built-in Wi-Fi, NFC, but the 5D Mark IV misses Bluetooth. The 5D Mark IV, however, has the dual pixel RAW functionality, which allows you to adjust the points of sharpness post-capture, which is a feature lacking on the 6D Mark II. Moreover, both cameras have built-in GPS and an intervalometer, but the 6D Mark II wins here because of its Bluetooth support, which can be a big thing for many users. So all in all, which camera would I recommend? So keeping the budget in mind, with the 6D Mark II being around $1,200 and the 5D Mark IV being at a little under $2,000, then we have to talk about it. The 5D Mark IV has a little higher sensor resolution, dual pixel RAW, 4K capabilities, so it's definitely worth the additional $500 to $600 or less when buying a used camera. The better burst shooting capabilities and a headphone jack just make it even more tempting. Now, looking at the 6D Mark II, it is lighter and has a smaller body with better battery life and Bluetooth connectivity. It is also less pricey, which would allow you to get a good lens instead of paying the additional $500 to $600. But both cameras require you to sacrifice a feature or two, but buying the 5D Mark IV will definitely not let you down, and that's the option I would go for when looking at long term. So in my opinion, the 5D Mark IV is the winner here and definitely has some important points that make it worth your money. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay notified when I release my next video. If you're not following me on Twitter yet, then please do that as well for some latest Apple news and some little things about cameras as well. Also, if you missed my previous video, then please click the card shown up here. Okay, take care, and I'll see you in my next video.